Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our small fleet webinar today. This webinar is designed to showcase some of the more popular services here at Tenstreet that we provide for small fleets. My name is Madalena Bowling, and I'm the small fleet consultant here at Tenstreet. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate how these marketing, recruiting, onboarding, and safety services can help you succeed in your small fleet business. But before I get started, I have just a few housekeeping items to cover with you. One, you can submit questions anytime throughout the presentation, and you can do so using the text box under the question section in your GoToWebinar panel. And we'll try to get to those questions along the way, but if we aren't able to, we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. And then also know that this webinar is going to be recorded, so it will be sent to you afterwards. If we get interrupted for any reason you'd like to share with somebody else at your office, you can expect to receive a recording of today's webinar in about 24 hours. So it looks like I see quite a few of you on this call today, and I just want to start out by saying, thanks for joining us. And if you're in the beginning stages of developing your small fleet, or maybe you are a small fleet, who has been in business for years, this is for all of you. We're going to go ahead and demo some of the tools that can help achieve your goals. So I know your time is valuable. I want to share insightful information that's pertinent to your small fleet. So here we go. Before we dive in to solve some of these pain points, let's take a look at the Tenstreet Foundation and how we came to be a leader in the industry. So the founders of our company brought many years of experience from trucking companies and background screening companies. In 2006, our founders wanted to address pain points and how certain processes were handled within trucking. So the first pain point identified was verification. So they knew it was slow and archaic using fax and phones. So it took weeks to manage the whole verification process from start to finish, not to mention being manually intensive. So they decided to create the first patented verification platform, better known as Exchange. So this system will let a carrier make a verification with just a few clicks of a mouse. So easy. I can't tell you the number of times that clients will breathe a sigh of relief the first time they see this being demonstrated to them. Just to give you an idea of what kind of effect Exchange has had on the trucking industry to date, currently, 40% of the industry uses our Exchange network. So further industry pain points that were addressed has resulted in the Intella app, and that's what we call our driver application. Also Express, and that's what we call our driver applicant management tool that lets you manage those Intella apps that's coming into your platform. And you're also going to see some of these today as I demo them as well. So Tenstreet continues to evolve today as a result of listening to our clients, future clients, and the changes in the industry. So I'll take you through this live demo, show you how you can use Tenstreet to market, recruit, onboard, manage your drivers. And this is where you will experience really huge gains in value as well as efficiency. So feel free to submit questions as we go along. So I talk to multiple small fleets daily, and most everyone is looking to hire drivers. That's no surprise. We know how high turnover can be in this industry. You may be thinking, I'm a small fleet. I may not need to hire every single month right now. That is totally fine. I do hear that too. So we can still help with that. The great thing about our Tenstreet platform is that it scales. And you as a small fleet carrier will be getting these same tools that large fleet carriers use as well. So Tenstreet continues to be a leader in the transportation industry. So our primary focus is on the transportation industry. We understand the ever-changing needs it has and can respond very quickly to these changes. The reason we do so is because we want to address all the pain points you have as a small carrier. Provide you with a solution that gets you more completed applications, more drivers that align with what you're looking for, a faster time to hire, and then also provide you a way to streamline that process while helping you stay compliant. Some of you may wear many hats. I do talk to some of you wearing many hats, doing many different jobs. So we want to make sure this is convenient for you as well. We want to let you focus on other revenue generating projects as a small fleet. We know it's vital for your company, and I'm going to show you how we can accomplish this in recruiting, onboarding, safety, and marketing. I'll also show you how to effectively and efficiently manage driver qualification files in the safety portion. Compliance gets a lot of attention in the trucking industry, and one of our passions here at Tenstreet is being your partner in compliance. We make sure you know what's new, what's changed, and how we can help. We provide free compliance webinars, informative blogs, and a compliance center to help you see where you may need more attention. We immediately alert you when things change so that you can stay ahead of that ever-changing legal landscape that is compliance, and don't get caught up in a lawsuit over something that could have been trivial to correct. So let's go right on into the application. So I know I mentioned IntelliApp before, so I'm going to show you what this application is going to look like. Okay. So for the application, so what we can do here is we provide you a link to make it easy to give to your drivers to fill it out. If some of you out there have a paper form or maybe even an online application, I'll show you just some ways that this is going to be different, than you've seen before. So the application link, it's also going to have IntelliApp. So it's going to let drivers know, hey, you have the IntelliApp. And then that way they know that they can fill this application out in just a few minutes, DOT compliant application, and then they can also fill this out on their phone. You have your company name, address, and phone number up here, and all they got to do is just fill out their name, social, and their date of birth. So nothing to remember here, no special passwords, I guess I should say, to remember. And so once that happens, it's going to bring down a drop-down box, and it's going to say, we recognize you've filled out this application before. So it's going to give this driver a chance to go ahead and autofill this app. So if a driver's ever fill out a Tenstreet application, and any of our Tenstreet clients is going to have this option so they can autofill that. So that means they become a part of our driver network. And they reap the benefits of just filling out an application in a few minutes. We're doing everything on our phones these days, so why not make it easy to let the drivers fill this out on their phone, and it results getting to you quicker. And then that way you can see if that's a driver that you want to move forward with. So here it brought up my CDL that I have on file, as well as the work history portion. So we know work history is huge. This is where we see a lot of drivers fall off. It's a lot to remember. It can just be overwhelming. And then not to mention, once you get the application, you're going to have to reach back out and, ask them, hey, you've missed this day, or, just gaps in the employment history. So all this needs to be consistent. If there's a gap in here, it's going to mark that in red, and it's going to say date gap. And then the next two pages are just standard DOT language you're probably used to here. So just letting them add and edit as they move through and fill out their accidents and violations, as well as the FMCSR page. And then the criminal record page, if you would like us to add that in there per ban the box regulations, just let us know. And the confirmation page here, this is just letting the driver confirm that everything they filled out on the application is good to go. They go ahead and sign off. And so let's talk about that signature that I just made there. For the application, we know this also has a dual signature process that our application follows. So we know we need to have a separate signature that stands alone just for the application. And then now we can go ahead and move on into the disclosure and authorization form. And they can still do this right from their phone. Just so you have an idea, 70% of our drivers who are filling out these applications are filling it out on their mobile device. So if you don't already have a mobile strategy, this is a great way to get one here. I'll show you, you saw the employment verifications requests up here, and I'll show you how to go ahead and order those in our dashboard as well. So they're just going to go ahead and confirm one last time they're the same person that filled out the application, making sure that they're the same person that's filling out disclosure and authorization forms. So what's happening right now is you're going to get an email and it's going to say, hey, you've got a new application come in. So at that time, then you go in and I'm going to take you into your dashboard. So we are finished with the application portion, and let's take a look at what the Tenstreet dashboard will look like for you. So this is something that you see, the driver does not see this. So you've got an email. Joe Smith applied. And then you go to your dashboard here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on my application that came in. But before I do that, I want to outline, you do also have your Intella app link readily available here to you. I tell everybody, it's really great that you are able to go ahead and share this with everyone. This is your link to do whatever you want to with. If you want to put it on Facebook, hey, we're hiring for drivers, click this link and apply. It takes them straight to that application. If you have a, word of mouth presence, text it to them, email it to them, put it on a website. So that way you have that always there available at your fingertips. So here's the application. What we want to do is we want to go in here, and I'll show you how to request employment verifications in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this all electronically. Instead of having to go over to the fax machine or give a phone call, here I'm going to see, if you'll notice, this was on my application. So this driver, when I was a driver and I was filling out my app, I listed all the employment history there. And so it's pushed over into your dashboard now. So all you have to do is go in and make a couple of mouse clicks to request those. And so I'm going to do, for today, for demo's sake, I'm going to do for XYZ Trucking. So I'm going to request their employment verification, their drug and alcohol history, and their accident history. I'm going to request these items here. Add this request and confirm and send. And that's it. So I sent an employment verification electronically there. Now I'm just waiting for that to come back. And if you're wondering how long does it take to come back, right now our stats are that it gets back in about 0.8 days, so a little bit less than a day you can expect there. We have a team who facilitates this process here at Tenstreet, so they can send electronic faxes on behalf. So you saw that one was requested, hey, I like receiving my employment verifications by fax, so we just turn it into an electronic fax there. You can even keep documents in here. So say, NVRs, when I click on my document section, I can add a NVR, drag and drop those files, set next action date, do what you need to do in here. So you can keep everything together. I'm keeping now my driver's documents. I'm keeping their employment verifications. As they come back in here, they're in my document section here. I can mark these statuses internally here. And so maybe I want to keep track of where I'm at in the process with this driver. So I can definitely do that here, whether they're processing or I'm attempting to contact them. And then maybe I want to communicate to that driver. So I just go here to that little icon where it has the little pulse icon. And I can go in here and email them. Maybe I want to call them, or maybe I just want to send them a message. If you want to make some notes, electronic sticky notes here, you can do that and do that as well. So reminding yourself maybe some to-dos, reached out to a driver, maybe you left a voicemail. And let me just kind of now go back and point out some other benefits of having the Tenstreet dashboard and the IntelliApp application here. So when you are a client, we also give you some free partial advertising. And so that's going to be on Driver Pulse. So Driver Pulse is a free app you can download. Well, a free app that drivers download, actually. Drivers download this free app, and the reason why they like it is because they can go and keep documents stored in the app. They can look at all of our clients in here, and they can even apply right from this app. Communicate back and forth is what I just showed you. You can reach out to that driver and communicate through that Driver Pulse app here. And so what you want to do is you'll want to go in here, and one of the first things, of course, sharing your IntelliApp link. Another one is coming in here and setting your information. So I want to tell that driver who is there looking at the companies and trying to find a job, what can I offer this driver? So I put that in bullet points, tell them a little bit about my company, and then they're able to apply right underneath as well. Another huge advantage that we've added is in the job store for our clients. We've added this job store, and what this entails is many different job store vendors. So you have a lot of choices in here to come in and choose what's going to be a good fit for your company. We have free vendors, we have paid vendors, but I will outline one today for you. It's Pulse Match here. So Pulse Match works a little bit different than any other job store vendors. So what it does is it goes inside, and it's a little bit more proactive. So it goes inside of the Driver Pulse app that we just talked about, and it's able to go in and match to a certain criteria, and that criteria is going to be filters you set up when you've created your job. So it's going to be based on like driver experience, driver location, driver type, and it's going to go match to the driver profile that driver filled out in their Driver Pulse app. When it comes back with matches, then you get that. So it'll say you found a match, you'll get that match, they choose to apply there. And that's one of the job store vendors that we have. So it gets you a little bit closer, works a little bit more proactive according to some of your filters there. You can set a budget in the job store. So whatever you decide to use in here, maybe you want just leads. So Tenstreet Market's a great one where it offers you leads, but they can also upgrade to a full IntelliApp as well. Some people are familiar with Craigslist. So we know with Craigslist, if you use them outside of our system, you have to go in and you have to post every single day to make it stay at the top and be fresh. Well, with our Craigslist partner, what we did is we're able to provide it where you can pick the days of the week, so you don't have to go in and manually post it every single day. So maybe you want to refresh it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You can go in and pick those days, and it'll refresh that for you. So that's great there. Another one that we've also added is hiredcdl.com, and that's leads as well. So you can come up here, and you can also, just so you're not flying blind, we have offered more information and highlights on each job store vendor, but we've also offered a heat map here. So for the heat map, you can take a look and see how is the job store vendor that I'm looking at, how's it doing in my state? And you can see what that app volume looks like by state for you. One of the, another last piece here I want to go over, actually two last pieces, is we did talk about the exchange, but I want to show you, I know that it's important to keep track of those 3 good faith attempts here. We also give you this exchange tracking sheet, so you can see when things were last sent, and you can also see how many attempts you've made over here. So these are your drivers, this is the status, provider. You can resend these. You're going to even be able to set it up where you can just automate it. Hey, send this out. You can tell the system, send it out maybe like 3 or 4 times and send it out every 24 hours if you haven't heard anything. So you can definitely set those controls as well. And when I said provide, you can request verifications from this dashboard, but if you're also getting verifications coming to you, then we can set it up where you can provide those verifications to that employer on your past employee as well. So we can set you up to do both in this dashboard. So the last piece I want to show is going to be the driver qualification file. So for the driver qualification files, you can come in here and you can keep track of those. And we also have a way you can keep track of those, put those documents in there, and you can just on the spot add a driver here for yourself. And then you can also just keep track of some basic reporting. So maybe I want to find out what's missing and expired. What's missing and expired for a CDL copy? And these are the dates that I'm looking at. So I can run this report here, and it will show me my subjects that have missing and expired CDLs for those dates. Okay. If you have an application that's like over 30 days old, we always have a search feature over here. You can come in and search on those. And then when we were looking at some of those, when I said, you know, keeping track of notes and keeping track of what you need to do on the driver next, you can sort by action date in here as well. And it tells you, and you can kind of set a to-do list over here on the left. Okay. So that's the main portion, the main pieces of what we can provide for a small fleet. We know that, we know you don't need a lot of bells and whistles when we try to make it really user-friendly here. So you're able to take advantage of these features, that some of the larger fleets have. And so, we definitely are able to provide you with those. We know everyone, probably works a little bit different, whether you have company drivers, owner operators, whatever that looks like for you. So you can, it's really easy to get started with this. So you can feel free, to email us or call us. I would love to hear about your company, more about your current process, kind of how we could fit in with your current processes that you have going, so we can go ahead and help you fill those trucks and help you streamline your process. So it can be like a same day implementation. So it's not something that you have to wait on. And you can also, do it month to month, right? So no contracts on this, and you're able to, no outrageous setup fees. So definitely let us know. And I just want to be able to outline how, we've effectively we're able to leverage Tenstreet to market, recruit, and manage some of your drivers. So user-friendly, definitely providing you those tools without the big price tag. So if you have any questions here, just let us know. I don't see any in right now. So that's good. So I probably covered everything for you guys. And thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time. And then I also want to say, make sure you check out our other blogs and any other webinars. Everybody seems to love job store and compliance webinars that come up. You can never have too much information. So we're passionate about keeping you guys informed. These are just a few ways we do it. So thanks again. Have a great afternoon, guys. Bye.